one.
Hi and welcome. My name is Sham. I am the chef and owner of Limin Beach Club. Today we are here to demonstrate, to show you guys how to make doubles, Trinidad's unofficial national dish, a dish I am personally campaigning to be made, shared and eaten globally. Carnival Slayers, thank you so much for the opportunity to actually do this. Today being Carnival Tuesday in Trinidad, quite possibly one of the most important dates in our calendar. It is not being celebrated for obvious reasons. However, today we will show you this dish to make it at home so you can celebrate, put your music on, have a drink, and enjoy what little idea you have for Trinidad Carnival, or actually go full on and fabulous, put your costume on, send us some images, and enjoy some doubles. So I have with me today a helper, a colleague. Here she is. I'd like to introduce you to Marlena. Marlena is joining us to work full-time at Limin as our sous chef. She has Guyanese and Surinamese background, and she was trained at Sham Hotel, and currently, is employed at a fine dining French restaurant in London. So Marlena, welcome to Limin, and thank you for helping me.
Thank you.
Are you excited?
I'm very, very excited.
Obviously, there's many things. There's so many similarities between Guyana and Trinidad. You know, your boat went one way, my boat went the other way, but our food is so similar.
Very similar.
Is there any dish you've had here since you started that really reminds you of home?
Well, dal curry.
Which, by the way, can I just say, the queen of dal curry. I am no good at it. I can make it, right? But she's very, very good. So thank you for contributing already to Cyber Boy and to what we're doing here, promoting, you know, I say Trinidad food, but actually it's food from the diaspora. Anything else?
No, thank you. I'm excited for this, and I hope you guys are too.
So what do you think, and I'm sure people who are Guyanese watching this now or watching this later on are obviously very excited to see how we have a Guyanese born chef with us. If you had to do one dish, not full-time on the menu, but a showcase, what would it be?
Definitely everyone.
Done. High five. Okay, so for our Guyanese brothers and sisters, I urge you to message us so she can make this one day. We will actually introduce it probably in March on the Saddest menu, so people that actually to get a taste of this and to showcase food from Guyana to people around the country. As you guys know, we're Limin, we're based on the South Beach. We're based my mind is clearly in America, which is where my family is, but we're based on the South Bank in London. We opened back in June. So without further ado, I think everyone excited. Let's get started with making some doubles. So I think the quickest and fastest way to do this is let's do the Barra, which is the soft flatbread, and then that's followed by the chana, and then back to the Barra, back to the chana, back to the Barra, and then we eat it. So can I please have a bowl to mix? Wonderful. Okay, so bowl. Let's move across. We have here, you all have ingredients at home, so if you just, into your bowl, you add the flour. And then, following the instructions again, the ingredients at home, you have turmeric, yeast, salt, and sugar. Now, a lot of people don't normally use sugar. I use it sometimes, we don't use it in Limin, but a lot of people in recipes use it, so we do it by making it at home. Chuck it all in. I like to get my hands, right? So I mix my hands up. So we are mixing this. You want to give it a good mix around because the whole idea, you want everything to merge, right? You want the salt, the sugar, the yeast. Remember, we're using all-purpose flour and not self-raising flour. Okay, so there we go. And now let's get some water in. Now, you may choose to get your hands not dirty, but my hands are already in it. I'm all up for, getting stuck in. Double is something we eat with our hands, right? So why not use our hands in here? I'm pretty certain you don't wash them before like I did. How much water do you use? I can almost hear everybody asking. Look, this is what we do, right? This is like you're at home, I'm at home. So forget, I cook and I'm the chef here. Just go with the flow. You're making this your own recipe. And that's how I learned. If I tell people, I started making doubles back in November 2019. And now I make it, well, can say, I've been called a doubles king. So with that in mind, I guess, that's how good actually it's become. So you're never too late to learn anything. So let's go back to the Barra. We want to keep playing around with a little bit. As it starts to come in. We don't want it to get too thin as the Jamaican pulori, which I'll show you another time. Message kind of so yes, if you want that done. A little bit more water. I can smell the turmeric. Now, you don't need to add turmeric. A lot of people in Trinidad, just have it basically quite light. I think signature-wise, we quite like it a bit yellow. It's good for Instagram, which remember to send us your images, okay? So as you can see here, it's almost coming in. Okay, so there we have it. It's almost ready. There's not too much needed. My hands are pretty much, not too dirty. The bowl is quite clean. And I remember a long time when my mother was doing flour to make roti. If the bowl is clean, you know you've done a good job. Any questions on this process so far, please feel free to ask us. Now, we've added no extra flour. Just use the water a little at a time, and it should bring it in quite nicely for you. So, what you will want to use right now, a very little bit of oil. Literally, look, a teaspoon. And you just want to work that in. Okay, so I'll hold this up so you can see it. There we go. So it's quite soft, it's not too dry. Remember, you have to stretch this later on, but it's going to rise for like about half an hour or so. I didn't do the classic thing all morning we did earlier because I'm not that professional yet. But I'm pretty certain this will work because there's flour, there's yeast, and there's some yummy ingredients in there. So let's put that aside, and then what we will do is we get working in China. But in the meantime, I am going to rinse my hands.
We've got our first question. Cool.
Okay, so we have our first question.
So the first question is, what flour do you use?
So we use all-purpose flour, which is not self-raising. I use it primarily because in the past I have found the one I use, or the brand I use, and when I use the turmeric and I fry it, it looks pink. That doesn't happen to everyone, but I think it's probably the brand of self-raising that we actually use. So obviously at Limin here, I use the same flour, and that's what we get from our suppliers. So I can't tell you to go and get that because chances are you actually can't. But supermarket own brand tends to work fine for me. Wonderful. And actually, someone mentioned me today. Actually, by the way, we have a lot of giveaways today because it's kind of when we're all sad. So obviously, I mentioned Singapore double skip, which we're making doubles today. So if you happen to be further afield or even in London and you want to get one of these, we will be taking a random question, a very big question. And if I like the question so much, apart from the flour one, we're going to give you some of these boxes to you. Just contact Carnival years after. But in the meantime, let's go back to the China because we wanted to sort of cook. Now, I recommend that you get China overnight. You boil it. You soak it overnight. You boil it with a little bit of salt until it's soft. Alternatively, you can actually open some cans of chickpeas. I personally, when I do this, I actually boil the chickpeas separately for about 20 minutes just to give it a slightly softer for the finish to the edge. So what we have here, let's see what we need. So we have the chickpeas. And then we have some spring onions, some coriander, there we go, yeah. Some garlic, and some chili, which should be here. We have turmeric, chili, salt, and cumin, roasted cumin. Now, roasted cumin is something you don't normally find in the UK until my Trinity shop came about, and they now supply a Trinidad brand of roasted cumin. Possibly two, I'm not quite sure, but I highly recommend it. If you want, you can obviously make your own. It's a matter of roasting the cumin seeds in a pan, a frying pan, then taking a rolling pin to it on a piece of paper and sort of just basically grinding it. But it's too much work, so my Trinity shop is good.
So we've got two questions.
Oh, go on. I'm liking this.
So the first one is from Chantel.
Yes.
How much water did you use?
So I didn't actually measure it, but what I would do is then I would actually make this again in the next day or two and send the kind of the slayers. I will actually put the full recipe with exactly how much water we use, so you actually have that.
Second question, and they said this is a personal question.
Oh dear.
What's your favorite doubles memory or experience?
The one I'm about to eat. No, I should say that. I remember my mother going to the market on a Saturday. She'd come back a lot later than making market because she'd stop and have a few doubles and a few beers along the way. But it's the excitement of just coming home as a child. And I remember the smell vividly. And it was the one thing when I was making doubles at Limin, I actually tried to recreate it with that smell that you actually get from doubles China in particular. Now, anyone who's Trinidad, anyone who's actually been to Trinidad and stood up at a doubles vendor will actually know what smell I mean. When the man opened that bucket of China and it just hits you, that is the smell. So I've worked over the last few months and during the first lockdown on sort of honing that recipe so we actually have that smell, and I think most people who had our doubles so far can agree. If you have had it, do let us know because I take great personal pride in that. So onto the china. So a pan, if you can see here, yeah? Yeah, wonderful. What if I move it to the other screen? Will that be okay? Or is it okay here? Yeah. Okay. Get the heat on. 2 teaspoons of oil. With a Sham teaspoon, but a little bit of oil just to fry and soften the spring onions, the onions and the pepper is all you need. A spoon would be lovely. So this is how prepared we actually are. We were actually making doubles to send out to our client tomorrow, today. So I'm sorry that we are not 100% everything. But what I can tell you though is the sauces. Now, King, can we do the sauces here? Okay, so there's a lot of sauces here, and people are going to say, why there's so many sauces? I guess for many people, doubles is about 2 things: the chana or the sauces. So if we're not talking about sauces, here we can start with she-hot roast pepper. Now, she-hot, they also do doubles and they do pepper sauce, so I highly recommend you check them out. Then we have kuchula, which is a grated mango kind of pickle thing, lime pepper sauce, Scotch bonnet mango jam, coconut sauce, tamarind. My Trinity shop has a roast pepper sauce, roasted coconut sauce, and we have that here. We have our own brand of roast smoke, and we also have cucumber. Now, I will actually go through this a bit more later, but in the meantime, let's get back to cooking. So we've added the oil in here, and I will just add a bit of all the seasoning we have in here, which you already have, into the pot. And listen to that. Now, great enough, if you don't hear that sound when you add things to a pot, it means you haven't done it properly. Okay. I hope you can see. I can definitely smell. So after about 2 minutes, just to slightly soften this. I've added the turmeric, the salt, and the Scotch bonnet. Now there's a lot of scotch bonnet in there, and the reason I haven't cut it up is so you can add it to taste. The whole idea for me is if you want it spicy, there's a lot of sauces, but this just give a different dimension to the chickpea or chana. Now, can you bear in mind, this is a personal thing, right? So if you like it spicy, make it spicy. You like it not spicy, if you've got kids at home, make it how the kids like it. And also, with it being locked down, everyone homeschooling, it's a great dish to get the kids involved in. You know, we make cake with them, we make cookies with them. Why can't you make doubles? So, again, I'm on this crusade for everyone who's making doubles, and it's a great way to, I guess, to guide people to empower the next generation of a food we grew up with. So, in goes everything here, which remember is a turmeric, the roasted cumin, and salt. And a little bit of water, and then I fry it ever so slightly. Is anyone cooking along with us at the same time? Because if you are, it'd be great if you send us your messages. But I do understand how you're homeschooling and you're probably tired, and you're probably gonna you ordered your double skip from Limin. I'm sad boy, by the way. So you're gonna reheat that and eat later. Okay, so let us cook for like about 2 minutes and fry down. And once that is done, we'll add the chickpeas to it. Okay, so let's come back now to the Barra. What I want to do is just to make so you'll be resting for like about 10 minutes. Now, in an ideal world, this will be at least half an hour, 2 hours is perfect. But this is live, we don't have the ideal world with us. So what I will do is some oil on my hand. And we don't use any more flour in this process. Yes, we are. So you want to see, so because of the yeast, it's quite pliable straight away. You want to make small balls. Now, I highly recommend these be about 20 to 23 grams. Now, believe it or not, even at Limin, I still have everyone weigh it. I actually eyeball it because I've been doing this so long, but actually everyone, Amalina will testify to this. How do you find the whole process of obviously making the doubles and obviously having to eyeball every single one of these, or actually weigh it?
Well, I don't eyeball them as yet. I do some of them, but I definitely have to weigh them because, I mean, I've just started learning them. I need to make sure that they're the right size so that they come out perfect. And
actually, for me, it's really important because consistency is key. And if you make them, and the classic mistake everyone makes is a don't weigh. Oh, I can see that this needs some attention. So what we need to do now is add the chickpeas into it. Now, normally I bang all this in, right? But of course, we have to take our time and do it. But patience. Any more questions, people, about the China process and how you actually do this? If you want some techniques in the overnight with the cook it, let me know. I'm more than happy to actually tell you how we do it. So I hope you can see this quite clearly. So everything is cooking away there. It's going to cook away quite slowly. Now again, remember we're alive, so I'm going to whack the heat up a little bit just to get the process going. But ideally, you want to slowly cook just so that you can actually get those flavors to penetrate into the chickpeas. Now remember, this is a canned chickpeas I'm actually using here, so it takes longer for these things to get done. If you boil it yourself overnight, you actually find that it actually is a lot softer and the flavors penetrate a lot faster. Okay, so let's go back over here. And we're making these little balls of pleasure. And so, like I say, I squeeze them all out, just like this. And that is basically the Barra we're going to make. Questions? So let's do a giveaway. So, how about, we haven't done the doubles giveaway yet. We are waiting for that question. Forget the personal question. What's the DM one? Okay, we have a question on direct message now. why did I learn to make doubles? Okay, so that's a really interesting question. Thank you for asking. I guess that I learned to make doubles partly because it's a huge part of Trinidad culture. Equally, it's something that I know, and when we opened our first Limin, it was a #1 seller. It was very good back then, but like I said earlier, I wanted to get that childhood memory of doubles when I opened it, and that's what we did. So that's how I ended up doing doubles. And like most of the food we actually do here, it is food I grew up from my childhood. I remember doing my Facebook post when we were actually about to open Limin, and how I've lived in the UK for 23 years now. So I kind of had forgotten my childhood, partly because I was living my life here, and that was very much now part of who I am. And you don't really look back, right? It's actually so far back. But when I was writing the menu for first Limin, I remember saying to people, I actually was on my Facebook, I fell in love with my childhood again, because I remember having pulori, I remember having barbecue chicken, I remember having fried rice, and all that kind of stuff for the first time of my earliest childhood memory, and that to me was, I guess in many ways, the romantic part of my childhood. And partly why I feel so passionate now about showcasing food from Trinidad and Tobago to the highest possible degree, or I guess as we grew up having it. Let's look at the channel here. So you may want to move it along a little bit by just giving it by crushing it. But again, remember, if it's actually China from the boil overnight, you would need to. Now that's boiling away quite nicely. We added more water to it. At this point, just let it cook away, and then we'll check for salt in about 10 minutes. There we go. So I kind of making these little balls of happiness here. So they look very much like a Pizza Express dough ball. But I guess one of the art in this, and I use the word art because it is an art, is pretty much how we roll them out. Now, I've seen videos, I've seen tutorials where people take a rolling pin to it, and that works. But I do not. I use my hands. And equally, when we make roti, apart from that, we actually use our hands for all parts of shop too. Because there's something connecting your hand and food that sort of takes it almost to that whole new different level. Again, it's what we did back home, it's what I grew up with. So it's partly what I do. Although I didn't grow up making doubles, I grew up making other stuff. So I can smell the challenge. Anyone cooking already, I can actually smell their food. Any more questions, anyone?
We got some comments. They're saying lovely memories.
Thank you.
And they're saying it looks good already.
Wonderful. So if you look at the color here, and I kind of sort of do the camera, there we go. Now, a lot of people use, like I mentioned before, either whiter, or I personally like it more yellow. Like I said, it is a business in the age of technology and Instagram, which is very, very important. So for me, this one is too big, and if you can see here, you should probably can't. I had to make it smaller. Okay, so Carnival Slayers, they are, what can I say? In London anyway, they represent Carnival around the globe, talking about people in amazing costumes, the whole experience. Once again, thank you guys for this fantastic initiative. I am still delighted, and I'll always be delighted. And I look forward to your invitation, there's a hint in this, to come back and do more food. Because there's something quite nice about sharing what we grew up with. Okay, so this is too small. It's for baby, make it for the baby. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and a half doubles. So I think that's more than enough. We definitely don't want to keep on that. So back to the China. So if I can get a little zoom in to show you, let's see, where is it? Can I see? Okay, I can't. Can I see it? 1 second, I'm trying to move the camera across. Okay, so I'm gonna let us smoke away and try and show you how the channel is looking from my view here. And there you go. So there's a little bit of liquid in still, it's cooking away. It's not too yellow. Notice we use no curry powder in this. Now, I'll talk about curry and doubles. Now, a lot of people, and we used to at Limin before, but the whole idea about the channel, we say a mild chickpea curry, but it's something it doesn't need curry. Now, we use curry leaf because, again, I go back to cooking and how I grew up. So that's probably why we call it a mild chickpea curry. But there's no curry in it, and the flavor comes from a little bit turmeric, but also the roasted cumin makes a huge, huge difference in it. Malina? Wonderful. So I'm going to get some cling film or damp cloth, actually. I just cover this for a few minutes. And what we're going to do is here, just let it rise so the yeast activate so it comes up. Now, let's talk sauces. Like I mentioned earlier, we have quite a few sauces here. It all depends on the personal taste. Now, in Trinidad, it's sweet, it's peppery, it's heavy, it's mild. What's it saying? It's mild, heavy, mild or heavy. What is it saying? Slice. There you go. You have James correcting me, and he is not Trinidad. So it's slight or heavy. Okay, beautiful. Now, people who are viewing, tell us what you think, how you like your doubles. I like my plenty pepper, but I like all my food plenty pepper. So here, let's go through these again. We first have She Hot, which is a roast pepper sauce, and She Hot is a brand like I mentioned before. She does other sauces, including tamarind, and she does doubles too, the one for her. And she makes it exclusively for us, so we're very happy to have that. Then here we have a green mango that's been sort of salted, dried, and then it's sort of flavored with masala and garlic and chili and mustard oil. And we have that exclusively here at Limin. It is named after my maternal grandmother, who was called Marajin. So this is called Marajin Kuchula. Then next here, we have a lime pepper sauce, and that is named for the Scotch bonnet chilies, lime juice, garlic, salt, and a few other secret ingredients. And again, that's all of our own sauce at Saddest, what is named after deceased members of my family. That's named after my father's sister called Tanti. We have here Scotch bonnet mango jam, and that's again my father's sister. And this is an incredible product because one is, it's not Trinidadian, but it's slightly sweet, it's slightly savory, it's slightly peppery, and it works incredible on doubles. Then we have a new sauce we're going to be bringing on the market very soon, which is a coconut chutney. Now, this one is a roasted coconut blended together with coconut powder, with garlic, with chili, and again, it complements doubles in that way that you haven't had before. We're very experimental here. We like trying new things, and this is definitely one of them. Our tamarind sauce. Now, that's my father's mother, my grandmother. We named it after her. It's tamarind seeds, sugar, roasted cumin, pepper, garlic. Again, the whole idea is bringing that flavor from back home. This works amazing with pulori or sahino, any one of those kind of street food that one we have here at Saddest. 1 second you can get, so you can even make your own. YouTube has many of these videos. One of our personal favorite and original from Limin is a sort of a smoky roast. And that one is named after my sister, who's passed, and we call it Fatso or Fat Girl because she was a big girl growing up, and that was her nickname. So it is after her. Again, very smoky, spicy, but not overpowering, and it's great in sort of you can see with the food and street food. This one here is a roast it's a roasted coconut, and that is available from my training shop. It's important, it's mother-in-law brand. We don't have it here, but it's great again, and it's more what people are used to in Trinidad for doubles. And finally, we have cucumber, the holy grail. Now, this divides people like Marmite and who like it or who hate it. For many people, cucumber is horrible on doubles. For me, it's a must. Because there's something about, oh, wait, let me just look at China. Okay, that's good. There's something about cucumber that to me, the crunchiness, the freshness in your mouth mixed together with the spiciness of the chili sauce and the sweetness of the tamarind and the kuchula, so the pepperiness of the green mango that opens the entire dish together. So for me, I am a cucumber person. Let us know if you're a cucumber or not. We're very excited to hear that too. Okay, so that's the sauces. I'm going to have one with pork, which I've never done before. I had some that was earlier on today with a friend of mine. She came to get some stuff. So we had most of these, but not all of these. If you need to get any information, check us out on Limin, that's limin.co.uk, Limin, and you can see where you can get these sources available. And if you message us on Instagram, come line with us. We'll tell you a little bit more about any questions you may have about doubles, Trinidad food. And I guess if you're new to Trinidad food and you think that I like curries, but I've never actually had Trinidad curry before, what's the big difference? Why is it so different? I'll tell you now. Trinidad curry, in my opinion, is as healthy as curry gets. There's no sugar added to it. There is no fat added to it. So to me, if you are trying to be healthy, get some cauliflower rice like my friend does, and have it a chicken curry, and it's as good as, because we don't add any sugar, any fat. It is just the spices and the seasoning that actually makes our food so unique. So I urge you to try that. Any questions? We still have to give away some of these stuff.
Yeah, there's a question from Paul.
From who?
Paul.
Okay.
So what he's saying is, why do they call it doubles?
That question deserves a prize, I think. I think that question definitely deserves a prize. So Paul, tell me what Paul is. Is he answering?
Yeah, he just asked why is it called doubles?
Okay, so I'll tell you why it's called doubles. Apparently, and obviously, I'm not a historian, but the gentleman who introduced doubles to Trinidad, Mr. Barry Dean, that's his son, I can't remember. Anyway, he just had singles, and then I think somebody one day said they wanted an extra Barra, they wanted a double. So it used to be one of the Barra with the channel, and some sources, I guess, back at the time. But then he asked for two, and two became doubles, and that's how doubles was born. Now, interestingly, the son of the gentleman who introduced, and the family who introduced us, lives in Miami, and he contacted me a couple of years ago. Now, we have a campaign I mentioned before for doubles. It's called International Doubles Day, and it's celebrated on May 30th. We have a Facebook page, check us out. The whole idea about it is we want to showcase doubles to the world so people actually understand this dish, which is naturally vegan. And once you have it, you're like, how have I not had this before? Anyway, he contacted me and said, what you're doing for doubles, for this humble dish that my father started is incredible. So I'll call you doubles ambassador. So I am now the doubles ambassador for the world. And that title I'm taking, and I'm pretty sure Carnival has called me doubles king. So title I'm taking too. It's just become something that I care about now, and I sort of, I am going to be campaigning for this International Doubles Day on May 30th for the Trinidad government to actually get this as one of our national dish. I'm not saying to actually put aside what's been there already. I think for Trinidadians, it's the one thing that actually brings us together. Now, in our national anthem, we say, here every creed and race finds an equal place. And to me, apart from Juve, doubles is the next thing that gives people that. Because whether you're rich or poor, whatever color you are, whatever race you are, you will queue up and wait for doubles at your favorite doubles vendor. So let's talk about Carnival because actually the channel. Okay, that's really nicely. Let's talk about Carnival. The day you share that Carnival. Anybody have Carnival to banker? Anybody know what that means? Let us know. We're more than happy to actually talk about Carnival in its entirety. I am very much a Carnival person now. I had my first Carnival experience 8 years ago. So, Carnival Slayer, come join me here. Come on up. Let's talk about why you brought this whole project together. She's coming. She's shy. Oh, come on up, man. No. But let's talk from there. Tell me, why did you decide to do this whole thing?
To cheer everyone up.
You see,
Carnival to Bangkok.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Wait. So there was more. The whole Grenada thing and then solutions.
Well, yeah, Grenada was based on our independence.
Oh, Grenadian.
Yes.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so that's why we thought start off with Grenada,
Mm-hmm.
Independence, Oil Down.
Yeah.
And obviously next week we've got St. Lucia for their independence.
Can we review what's being cooked?
Not just yet.
Okay,
Maybe it's a national dish. So those who know what a national dish is may know.
Right.
But yeah, maybe a twist. Who knows?
Oh, I like twists. Very much like to twist things up a little bit, but I also, it should be done how we grew up having it. So it's a strange one because at the first line, when I was very much, let's put a twist on things, but I guess I didn't do it back then. When now I'm cooking everything, and I have this sort of national pride, and it has to be done the way I grew up having it. And that's what Saga is all about, how much should be done. Okay, so before I come back on this age, I need to know if I can give you something to drink. Will you reply back?
I do reply.
Perfect.
We've got a comment here
Oh, okay.
by Ange.
By who?
By Fit with Ange.
Okay.
They wanna see you. How do you wine at Carnival?
That is if I wasn't wearing my chef's clothes, I think it is a level of professionalism. And by the way, today is the first day I'm wearing it, so I feel more like a chef. I am a home cook, chef. So there's no wine happening. If there was soca music, but the background music is bad. So sorry for that. However, we may have other people in here who want to show us. Everybody's shaking their head. Why everyone's shy? So 2 drinks later, they would have been all over the place. Talking about drink, I haven't had a drink, obviously. Anyway, let's go to the channel. So I'll try and show you how to cook it now. So again, remember, this is a smoke buttering. Can you see? No. This is what happened live condition, okay? There we go. Anyway, I can smell the cumin, it's cooking away. Because it's thin chickpeas, I'll give it a sort of a gentle crushing. Oh dear, I just pushed the pepper. So for people who are not liking it too much, but spiciness, be very mindful of that. So you don't want to burst the pepper in the food because it's going to be quite spicy. Now for me it's okay, but there we go, the pepper burst. So that said, I think we need to actually get some more questions. Come on, people. There must be somebody asking it. Are you on the DM? Come. So James just bought me a drink, which is very, very sweet of him. It smells like water. No, by the way, actually, we top 3-ways rum. Yeah. 3-ways rum. So cheers, everyone. Happy Carnival to Bangkok. 3-ways rum is a blend of rum. It's a rum that my colleague or business partner, Paolo, and myself decided to embark on a few months ago, over a year now. And this is the product. It's a blend of rum from 6 different distilleries from 4 different countries. And we blended it 3 different styles of making rum. And that is the English, the French, and the Spanish. The countries are Barbados, Jamaica, Guadeloupe, and of course, our beloved Trinidad and Tobago. The product is incredible. Some bloggers have called it the best blended white rum on the market, which we're very happy with. So cheers, everyone. And thank you, James. Okay, so I think the chickpeas is pretty much there. But as far as cooking on TV is. If you are cooking at home, I'm already having a cup of you. It's first. Okay, so what I've done in the meantime, guys, I've actually put the oil to get hot, so we can actually fry the Barra. Now, it's you can do it in a few more minutes. So if you ask some questions in the meantime, I can carry on talking. It does sound very good, though, I have to say. So kind of, is there any message for anyone? When are we coming back again to do this? More importantly,
next week.
Okay, let's say. No.
I have a question.
Yes.
which do you prefer making?
Mm-hmm.
Roti, doubles, or bus-up shots?
Okay, so roti being daiquiri, bus-up shots being bus-up shots, and doubles. It's an interesting one because daiquiri, my mother can make it, but I'm not very good. And Malika is here now, so she saved us. Doubles, I absolutely enjoy, but man, people have no idea how much work it actually is. I think bus-up shot probably would win, partly because I learned to make roti. I actually remember making my first roti back in May last year. It's on my Instagram account. Right? I made another home roti, right? But actually, I made bus-up shot for the first time with curry shrimp. I think it was May 12th. It's stayed in my brain because I just think to myself how far we've come from May last year to now. So not only making bus-up shot, we've actually changed the recipe so now it's vegan. Now, bus-up shot is normally a lot of butter and ghee and so forth. The feedback we've had is incredible. So who's bought it? Thank you for supporting us. The whole idea that we've actually take a whole new product and not only change it, but in my opinion, made it a little bit better. It's softer. You can eat a roti cold and it still melts in your mouth. And that's a true testament, I think, to the level of investment we've made in time and actually trying to get this right. So for me, it's bus-up shot, and if you want to add my favorite curry, it's going to be curry shrimp.
Question.
Yes, I have a question.
Oh, which one is it? So this question is, what is the secret to keeping the Barra moisture and not too dry after frying?
Okay, that's it. So, 1 second, let me do this. You want a quick answer? Eat it. If you eat the thing, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But I tell you, okay, so this is what we've done. I'm going to make it fresh for you, so when you order it, it comes straight to your table, freshly fried. With saga boil, what we've done is, we make it, we ship it across the country. Remember, this goes from Brighton to Scotland and from Devon to Hastings. How we do it? It is packed, it's cooked, it's vacuum packed. The air is taken out of it. Now, you haven't got a vacuum machine at home, but what you do have is tablecloth. You do have Ziploc bag, which you get it cold or at a very much room temperature, put in a Ziploc bag, and that will keep it moist. That's what I've done in the past. That works for us. And when we actually make doubles here, like in the morning before it goes out, and trust me, if they should make 300 and 400 barrels, we can't actually do order vacuum bag orders. So there's literally the man is here for taking orders, and literally we have a full frying barrel. So we put it in the blast chiller, cool it, put the Ziploc bag, because we haven't had time to actually vacuum bag. So Ziploc will work just as good as a vacuum bag when it's made straight away. Yeah? Awesome. Okay, so we have China ready here. I think soon we're going to fry some doubles. Marlena? Yes. Okay, so this is where it gets exciting because this is the most trickiest part for many people. Again, let's go back to the channel, make it your own. Do it as you want the flavor. Obviously, I make it to sell to customers and the way I grew up having it and what I think doubles by the Trinidad do. But I do think if you're making it for your family at home, make it a lot with the flavor that they used to. So if they want curry in it, add the curry. If they want no chili, do add the pepper. If they want a lot of cumin, add the cumin. Make it to your, you're making this for home. You're making this for your comfort. Do it how you want it. Okay, so time to test the oil. How do we test the oil to make it ready? So you pinch a little bit, pop it in the oil, and it fries it. Now, Mr. Cameraman King, do we have action on this? Because this is a really interesting part. I think it would be really quite good, if possible, if you can zoom in a little bit to how we actually do the stretching, which shows the stretching here. Okay, brilliant. So, okay, the good news is it's looking good. Now, I've made this a million times probably. Okay, that's so much. It always comes out well, but it's obviously going to be the case, right? One time I make it on live, broadcast, it doesn't come out good. So keep your fingers crossed for me. I think we're okay. Malina is going to get something. Okay, so what you need now is a cloth. I have a clean one here. Now, in a business, the few things that you should always have. If you look in the summer business, in food, let me know, I'll give you some pointers. But a restaurant, laundry service is priceless. To get clean kitchen cloth to your house after the restaurant business is the best thing ever, because the amount of grease we get through inside of here is not funny. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stretch these. We're going to press them here. We'll fry about 10, just so we have enough for everyone here. I'll plate a couple of them up with all the sauces. I'll pull up a chair, pull up a glass, answer any questions you may have. Then I'm going to give some of the stuff away because Paul hasn't come back with his age, so I can't give it to him around. I'm going to give him a double box if he does come back in time. If not, there we have it. So let's do some stretching. Any questions to the audience? Yes, there's an audience.
Okay, the people that want to know, when will you be doing a live making roti?
We've been asked this many times, and it's something that I'm always sharing food. This is how did I learn to make roti? You may ask yourself, how did I learn? I watched YouTube. It's as simple as that. But I then made it my own, and that's what I recommend. But I will show you guys a recipe. It's not the one we use online, Saga Boy, but I will show you a recipe that will give you good enough food if you actually try and cook. How does that sound? Who's that person? What's her name? Or his name?
That's Chantel.
Chantel? Do I know Chantel? She's been following us for a while now, so I think I'm going to send her some roti. Chantel, the next order, Saga Boy, I'll send you some complimentary roti. Okay? Okay, so this is what excites me to this. Malina, I need your help. So I'm going to stretch and you're going to fry. So a little oil. Now a key thing with this is remember how you lay them out in the bowls, because you want basically the first one you're done to be doing first. So actually it takes a bit longer to actually activate everything. And literally using these fingers, you stretch them. That's it. Into the oil, it better fry properly. Okay, it's good, everyone. I think it up. That is it. Okay, so let's get a little bit cooler and show you guys. I don't want to burn my hand, but it's so light. Can you see? The whole idea is it doesn't have to be thick, it needs to be softer, it needs to be able to hold chickpeas up or the chana up when you're going to put it in your mouth. We'll get to how you eat it shortly, but I mean, this is pretty impressive if you ask me. Thank you. So let's try a few more. Now, I've done this once or twice, okay? So it may take you a little bit longer to stretch them. Now, also what's quite key, if you're going to reheat this at home, try to get stretch as evenly as possible, because that way you don't get any sort of lumps and end up a bit sort of hard, as the person who asked about how you keep it sort of, airtight. And just pour more oil. There we go. So it's quite easy to fry, it's quite easy to stretch it, and look, bear in mind, we've done this in what, how long have you been on air?
We've been on air for about, I don't know, an hour.
An hour.
Exactly.
So this is pretty much under an hour we've done this. So we've gone from mixing it to frying an hour. So it takes shorter, about the same to make a cake. So when your kids who at home say, oh, I want something to eat, take them on a trip to memory lane. Tell them what your experience about when you first had doubles, or bring them to Limin, or a Saga Boy. But I think kids actually will genuinely enjoy making doubles at home. I know there's one girl, I can't remember her name right now, but she's American from Florida, and she's married an English Trinidadian, and she made doubles for her kids. So there's no we can't do it. It is doable. It's just gotta persevere. Any more questions? Any comments? Anybody want to know anything?
Yeah, so we've got a question here from Soca Junkie.
Yes.
She says, what is one Trinidadian food / meal you couldn't go without in your life?
Oh, for me, it's pilau. You know, it's funny because we don't I love it so much. It's like one pot dish you cook every day. You have meat and vegetables and coconut milk and rice and seasoning. And the flavor is incredible. Now, again, some people like it wet, some people like it dry. I am a dry kind of person. I don't want it sort of, you know, like I'm eating like a kind of wet soup. It has to be dry and grainy, almost fried rice-esque, but it has to have that flavor. Cooked, slow cooked with coconut milk. Also, let's peel out Tobago. Tobago's dish big and, no, not big, I shut up, it has it on my mind. Crab and dumpling. There's something about crab and dumpling that brings the dumpling being from the sort of the African heritage, the Creole heritage, and bringing the curry and using that sort of seafood. That's the merging of our two kind of food. That to me excites me, and that's wonderful. So something getting Tobago, and guess where? I'm Limin. Because when we do it out the shara, you know, again we put a Limin twist on it and we make it. So for me, it's fantastic. Have you had it? Crab and dumpling? No. It's very, very good. We're going to add that to the Saga menu probably in March, so look out for that. Like, you know, we have a lot of food on the menu, so, you know, do check us out, have a look and see. Okay, so a really good tip, you want it to drain this way. You think you want to drain inside and drain? Yeah. Because otherwise the oil just sits on it, and then it becomes saturated in oil. So especially when you're at home, you want to drain this way. Now, you don't need someone to do this, you can do it yourself. There we go. Any questions? Have you got a technique of stretching? Anybody needing to see more? There we go. Okay, so I think we've done a fair bit for everyone for me to try it, so I'm going to try it now. Eating is really important. It's a big part of my life, right? I mean, this saw me 2 years ago, well, I would have loved dinner. But it doesn't matter, we have good food, and right now we need food in our lives. Okay, so should we get a plate? Instead of beauty. What sauce would you like? King, on your doubles, what sauce would you like?
Anything that you recommend right now, because
I think you should have all inclusive, you know, like a party in Trinidad, all to the fair, about everything.
Because I've left my stomach empty.
I did you?
For tonight, yeah.
Well, okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna plate up. You may or may not need salt, I don't know. By the way, remember, always test the salt in your channel. I knew what I was doing, so I measured it properly for my taste. Your taste is very different. We won't keep you much longer because questions didn't come in. So I have a treat. The cocktail box will go out. The first person who has the initial R, I use the word R because my mother is Raju, and R is her initial. So if somebody with an initial R messages me, they will get a cocktail box. And okay, we'll do it alphabet. So the first person with A, because that's the alphabet. If somebody messages me with the question, they get a bottle of rum. And Carl, I think the name is on the doubles box if you're still watching. Are we going? Yeah. So, and in the cocktail box, we have a bottle of rum. We have 3 cocktails. We have a jigger. We have dried fruits, and we have tonic. Now you have 12 drinks in that box. It's available online also, you can buy it from Limin or from Limin UK. So as we get ready to eat, I am salivating. I, on the other hand, did eat earlier, like I said, after the drink. No questions, no comments? Okay, let's play up.
It's looking good, Sham.
I need a bigger plate actually. Ah, yes, perfect. There you go. You're gonna come out to try and see, okay? I'm gonna eat everything, man.
Spicy.
No, it's not spicy.
Yeah.
Flavor.
And tamarind sauce. Extra tamarind.
Who's gonna come try it?
Okay, I'm not here.
Let's go. I'll get another plate anytime.
Oh, it's hot.
No shit. You get everything else?
So what does it taste like? Good?
Good?
Can't describe it.
For our thing, right?
I don't know. Plus, I'm hungry, so I'm just like.
That's the wrong answer.
This is, no, the flavor is even more intense. It's just amazing. And the
Now,
chicken
interesting tip here, actually, guys. Now, with your channel, I like my slightly runny. Some people like it dry. It all depends, again, on your personal preference. Okay, let's make you an apple. How the all the sauce is?
The sausage is amazing, but you know my favorite one is the tamarind. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for more. Okay.
Sure thing.
Okay, guys. See.
So remember, you can get stuff from my trading shop, or you can get stuff from Limin. We have this stuff available. You can buy. If you want to give that sort of, that really home flavor to your food, this is come king. Ah, there we go.
The way I'm celebrating.
There you go. You tell me. No, you know how to eat it, right?
Grab it.
No.
Grab it. That's what I'm saying. Just grab it. Jamaican style.
Yeah, let me talk about that, yeah? So you want to hold it like that, like a taco almost, and put that piece in your mouth.
All right, guys, I'm taking over the show. Thank you.
It's not bad, is it? It's a pretty good dish. So, there we have it. Mr. Limin makes doubles. The chef at Limin Beach Club. Like I said, follow us on social media. We're here. Oh, did anybody ask you questions to get us the stuff?
Any more questions?
No more questions? I mean, I have to drink this stuff now, okay? That's what it means.
But people are saying, Sham, you've made me so hungry. Real delicious food. So the food looks the best. Everybody's saying thank you so much.
Yo, guys, you're more than welcome. Try the whole message us on Limin Instagram or come Limin us Instagram. I mean, kind of a Instagram. Don't forget, you can get all the Trinity products on my Trinity shop. You get fresh food delivered to your door, not frozen, but fresh from Saddest food, which is named after my father. We have all the condiments available. If you want your doubles skits available, your cocktails available, your rum is available. We kind of got everything, right? We are like that one-stop kind of shop for everything Trinity. So, thank you for joining me. Carnival Tuesday, thank you once again. My Trinity shop and my team. But going out, you guys, is not possible. So have a great night and enjoy your doubles.